I worked on it this last week and just relating it to my personal being. But it's going to take a lot of conditioned response. Really? So there's a lot to be learned.
So, as always, let's spend a few minutes just making a bridge between outside there and all that stuff and our group, and let's go to our effortless place for a few moments.
Never thought in a million years I would have cancer in my left breast. Took me by surprise, and this time I have to take it seriously.
Off to chemo.
It's a lot more aggressive and nasty than my right breast cancer.
Kelly Gwynn's diagnosis was one of over 200,000 new cases of breast cancer in the United States last year. She receives her chemotherapy at the Arizona Cancer Center's clinic at UMC North.
You told us about the physical feelings, so now that you're slowed down, emotionally, what have you been feeling?
I think it's going to be fine. It's just, I feel really good emotionally.
The Cancer Center offers an in-depth 10-week mind-body program that helps build resilience and supplements medical treatment. Appropriately enough, it is called the Eye of the Hurricane.
All of us are surrounded by trauma, the opportunity for trauma. Because it's not the same, is it?
No, it's not the same. And I think that's one of the things that's challenging, is thinking about it never being the same. But
we looked at that as being surrounded by a storm. We needed to find the eye of the hurricane, to find a place in the eye, even though we're all surrounded by this, to find a place of peace and solace, and how we could celebrate life despite the trauma and not being swept away by that trauma around us.
It's interesting, too, to see what might be around the next corner.
It also requires work to remain in the eye, because hurricanes move. And you can't just say, okay, I've learned these tools. You have to work at them. We know the outcome is much better for people who go through comprehensive, facilitated, and integrative groups like these with education, experiential components, and support than simply coming together and sharing. Again, that's not, I'm not undermining support groups. There's a value to them. But this goes far beyond that.
All right, so I have to take the Tylenol.
That's your Tylenol.
And that's the, 750 milligrams total or something?
Much of Kelly's cancer storm is a result of her medical therapy.
They take 2 Benadryls.
Out of everything I'm doing to treat my cancer, I mean, clearly the hardest is the chemotherapy. I'm counting the weeks to get through chemotherapy.
In addition to modern conventional treatments, Kelly also receives ancient traditional therapies.
I feel like I'm falling apart and you're keeping me together.
The great thing about acupuncture also is that you can treat a multitude of things. So we can treat the nausea, the fatigue, and if someone is getting headaches or something non-related, we can help with that too.
Exhale.
It will help your depressed immune system as far as keeping your blood counts up, which my blood counts were cut in half. My red cell count and my white cell count, which notoriously dropped during chemotherapy.
Again, nice deep breath.
As soon as I started acupuncture, they went right back up again, which is unheard of.
The body has these like superhighways of meridians, they're called, and they're like a freeway system that runs through your body, and the energy should be flowing at a certain rate. If it's not, just think of the LA freeway system. The stack set, all the cars are jammed. What's it causing? Commotion, stack up. So with the body, if it's not flowing at the right speed, you're going to get this backup of traffic, swelling, disease, fatigue. It'll show up as a symptom. So putting the acupuncture needles in precise places will open up that traffic jam.
Complementary treatments like acupuncture are very helpful for side effects. I think there are also different nutritional supplements, vitamin supplements, and things like that that we use to treat certain side effects of chemotherapy. I think we have to sort of use all the different types of ammunition that we have to help these people get through their treatment.
We really understand that
recovering from cancer diagnosis and treatment has to do with the person's overall nutritional status, overall fitness, overall mental well-being, overall support from family members. And people come into having cancer with varying levels of well-being in those areas, but we like to make sure that they're fortified and supported in all those areas so that they have the most resources and can get through it the most optimally they can.
One of Kelly's primary weapons in her fight against cancer is knowledge. She constantly researches her diagnosis, treatment, and test results.
Oh my God, if I'm reading that correctly, I think this is fabulous news.
In addition to her computer and physician, Kelly's allies include an army of social workers, nurses, and therapists.
Thank you. Okay.
Using a comprehensive mind-body approach.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, thank you.
Good to see you. She's been receiving chemotherapy for the last 7 weeks for treatment of this new breast cancer, and we got a repeat breast MRI to reevaluate and see if the thing was shrinking. And amazingly, on the new MRI, basically you can't see the cancer anymore. So this is really a beautiful response and just what we hoped for. So this was the new cancer that was found late last year. On the new image, after 7 weeks of chemotherapy, that spot is just completely gone. This is a dramatic change in just, is it seven treatments? So, so Kelly's a really good example of someone who's getting a chemotherapy combination that we didn't have a decade ago. So women with this type of cancer weren't able to do as well as hopefully she will do. So really, it's an amazing feeling to be able to say, you know, we're achieving what we were hoping to achieve, and hopefully she'll have a wonderful long-term outcome. My tentative plan would still be for you to get a total of 12 weeks of the Taxol, but because I know you're sort of interested in seeing if Dr. Lay can operate on you, after she saw your MRI report, and she said, she said, could we go ahead and operate? And I said, yes, I think that we could if that's what you want to do.
Having 2 cancers in a year, I'm thinking that I should do a mastectomy. And as far as affecting the rest of my life, I clearly will have issues with body image. I mean, what woman would not?
The lifelong effects of cancer survivorship, both mental and physical, are not necessarily negative.
A lot of patients who are faced with life-threatening illness, they suddenly start to explore what their connection is to the bigger world. And many patients, as you will hear, say, this illness, as much as I would never choose it, gave me gifts that I never thought it would.
If you feel stressed, it's going to affect your system down to the cellular level. And so if you can maintain your stress and hold the pain level down, have the right attitude, you're going to fare much better in your healing process.